It always seems impossible. That's the truth. Not sometimes, not just in moments of doubt, but often at the beginning, when the goal is far away and the path is unclear. The impossible is not a label for the weak. It is a challenge for the brave. When you look at the things that changed the world, the things that reshaped lives and created new possibilities, you will notice a common pattern. They all began as something that seemed impossible. Every breakthrough, every victory, every moment of transformation started as an idea that sounded too big, too risky, too unrealistic. Because the human mind is not built to imagine success from the start. It is built to protect you. It is built to keep you safe. It is built to keep you from stepping into the unknown. So, when a dream shows up, the mind tries to shut it down. It calls it unrealistic. It calls it dangerous. It calls it impossible. And that is how impossible becomes a story we tell ourselves. But impossible is not a wall. It is a distance. A distance between where you are and where you want to be. The moment you begin, that distance starts to shrink. The first step is always the hardest. Not because it is difficult, but because it is unfamiliar. Your brain is comfortable with the known. It knows your routines. It knows your fears. It knows your limits. And it wants to keep you there. But progress is not built on comfort. Progress is built on courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite fear. When you start something new, you may not feel confident. You may not feel prepared. You may not feel worthy. But confidence is not a prerequisite. Confidence is a result. Confidence is earned through action. Every small step you take is proof to your mind that you are capable. Every time you continue when you want to stop, you build a stronger version of yourself. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well. It's easy to keep going when the world is cheering. But the real test is what you do when no one is watching, when the road is lonely, when progress is invisible, when you feel like you are moving through mud. That is when the impossible feels strongest, because your mind begins to measure the distance instead of the direction. It begins to focus on how far you still have to go, rather than how far you've already come. This is why many people quit, not because they lack ability, but because they focus on the finish line instead of the next step. But the truth is, you do not need to see the entire staircase. You only need to take the next step, one step at a time, one day at a time, one choice at a time. That is how impossible becomes possible. Every goal, every dream, every change begins with one decision. The decision to try, the decision to refuse to accept the limits others place on you. The decision to refuse to accept the limits you place on yourself. There will always be obstacles. There will always be reasons to stop. There will always be voices telling you it is not worth it. But those voices do not know your potential. They do not know what you are capable of becoming. The moment you decide to move forward, you send a message to the world and to yourself. I will not be defined by my doubts. You will face setbacks. You will experience failures. You will feel pain. You will question your choices. And that is not a sign you should stop. That is a sign you are on the right path. Because nothing worth achieving comes without resistance. Resistance is not your enemy. Resistance is your teacher. Resistance shows you what you need to grow. It shows you what you need to strengthen. It shows you what you are willing to sacrifice. Every time you overcome resistance, you become stronger. Every time you continue, You prove that you are not fragile. You prove that you are resilient. You prove that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And when you finally reach the end, when the work is done, you will look back and realize something remarkable. The thing that once seemed impossible was not impossible at all. It was simply unfinished. It was a journey that required time, patience, and unwavering determination. And the truth is, the world does not change because people have perfect plans. The world changes because people refuse to quit. So if you are facing something that feels impossible right now, know this: it is not impossible. It is unfinished. You are closer than you think. You are stronger than you believe. And you are capable of completing what you started. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep believing. Because the moment you finish, you will understand that what once seemed impossible was simply the beginning of your greatness. And when it is done, you will not just feel victory, you will feel transformation. You will realize that the impossible was never the end. It was the start.